Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you a video about
the unboxing review about the box release with the Dawnbringer, in this case with the Dawnbringer book 4, that is the Mad King Rises, and eventually you can find the unbox about such book in the description if you're interested about. And really, here it's something that was quite interesting because there were 2 units that I didn't have and 1 new model. If you go to see about the box itself, we can see that also the images are nice, so eventually keep these ones. And so here we can see the models more in detail, so that we have the Fellbats, the wolves, and this that it's Sekhar, that it's the model that I really wanted because I love such snake really, and the Mewtwo's it's something that I quite appreciated, so I'm really quite interested. And about the worth of such box, you have to understand how it's done, because you have that the Fellbats themselves it costs 45 euros. If you go to see about the wolves, it's 45 euros too, and so the cost of all the box it's 85 euros. So even combining the 2 units, these ones, you have spent less than the total, and you have also the special mod inside. Obviously I have not bought for these 2 ones, but for the mod itself, because I loved that one. But I didn't have these models because I had the old Fellbats that are these ones, and sincerely I anyway recycled them. I made also the mist because I was really quite interested about a swamp in the past for these models, and so I decided to do this. And anyway I renew these ones because anyway they're still playable. And about the wolves, I was using these that are not technically the real old zombie wolves, but were the ones that were the goblin riding the wolves, that were these. And otherwise I created other models to do, so my spider zombies, so these ones, eventually you can find the link in the description. And I love to create, and I was using these to create something particular, something new, so to have something to have fun with. And eventually I created also, preventing that I wanted to rebase in some of my zombies or zombie wolves, to create some basing, for example using the MDF and some texture to put, so to create some theme. So you can create in a lot of different ways about such ones, and it's something that I really quite appreciate. Anyway, it's up to you decide if you really need the original, technically original ones, or you want to create something like a done, so personalized or so on. But I liked such models, and I wanted the queen, or better, such a vampire, so I wanted to have something intriguing to play with, and so I decided to buy. So now you go to see about the contents. So here we have the instructions about, and it's really quite intriguing, because you can study eventually them to understand if you want to modify them or so on. So it's a good interesting part. For example, about the snake, we can see that the vampire and the snake are separate, so eventually you can rebase in and use in different ways, so it can be useful, so you can understand this, and you can really find a lot of ideas maybe to modify or so on. So I suggest you to always think about having some options eventually, so it's quite nice. Eventually remember that with the book, Dawnbringer book, there's been also released a way to play with the Fellbats and the loopy zombies as a main army, so think about this eventually. Not the queen, because this fang of the queen it has been outstudied about, but okay, so we can put this aside and see the Mewtwo's. So let's see about the models, and we can find here these ones. So these are the wolves, and really they are really quite bigger than I thought, because if you compare about the old ones, they are really much bigger. A head at least more, because if I consider that the head, or better the tail separately, we can find that it's a full head separate, so okay, but it's not bad at all, sincerely. And instead, if I take my spider zombies, we can see that we are almost the same, so it's not a problem. And really I quite like, so it will be really quite fun to play with them. And if you see instead about the Fellbats, we can find that it's much bigger, even if compared to the old ones. So here we can find that there's been quite a lot of improvement about. Okay, there are some that maybe are almost the same as size, but anyway you have to pay attention because they're really quite big, these ones. So, and this is the biggest of the Fedbats. So you can recover them, but you have to pay attention that they really have been upgraded. And I have this, that it's the vampire itself and the snake, and I love the amount of details that it has. See how many details here. Here you have the position, but you can see that the model, okay, you don't have it's empty here, but it has the full way. So you can really play a lot with such things. And I had to decide still if to use the head of this model or change at least the face or so on, because I didn't like how it has been painted, and still some Neferata heads available, so eventually I can cut off the head or change completely the head or so on, or you can use, for example, the ones from the Command Throne. You can have quite a lot of fun playing with, because if the problem is only the head, you can have fun. And eventually you can also try to monetize the vampires so that you can change the basing so that they can be used also as a separate vampire lady for a Legion of Blood army or so on. So you can have quite a lot of fun with, and I quite like. And then you have obviously the bases related that are for the vampires, the battlefield, the Fedbats and so on. So it's really quite useful about this, because based on what you need, you can personalize the models so that you can create a different theme or so on. And I quite like the idea, so it's up to you, but you can gain quite a lot, and so nice. Anyway, it is worth this box, in my opinion, yes, because I needed both the units and also the vampires, and so I saved quite a lot of money, because I spent a bit more than 60 euros to have all these box. But if you don't need maybe some of these, maybe it's useless. And you have also to remember anyway that some of the models about such boxes have been released separately. For example, Janus Keyboard has been released separately, or also Trog, but they are big models. Instead of the smaller one, for example, the Rider of Nargor or the Ambassador of the Freshita Course, no, at least for now. So it's up to you decide if it's something that you need, because eventually you can anyway create something like the vampires, because you can, for example, buy something like these snakes, FX1. Okay, these are too much bigger than needed, but you can anyway buy something smaller, or you can buy something in Rising 1 to use. And about the vampires, anyway, you have options that you can use, because you have some example about vampires that can be done. For example, the limited edition one about the buying of the subscription to the Warhammer Plus, or you have, for example, this one from the Crimson Court that you can modify eventually to create something. So to have this one, you can anyway have different options, and really quite intriguing ones, so you can make the difference about and prepare something completely new. So don't think that you are to have only this because you need that model. The model is fantastic, but eventually you have other options. Eventually write in the comment if you think that you like such box, you would like to have, to buy, you do not buy because you are not interested, so on. It can be quite interesting discussion about. Anyway, from deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.